Hello Uber and Lyft driver. Today I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to prepare the self-employed sections for your TurboTax. So before you get started, you do need to gather some of the informations. So the first one is your 1099 NEC form, your mileage log, and also a list of expenses for your Uber and Lyft business, and also your Uber fees and Lyft fees. So in the description box, I included a mileage log for your reference. If you want to know more details about what are some of the expenses you can write off as a rideshare driver, I do have a video over here. You can go ahead, click on it. So once we log into the TurboTax dashboard, you will go to the income and expenses on the left, and then scroll down till you hit self-employment. Go ahead, click start. Do you have any self-employment income or expenses? Click yes. So for these examples, we have Tommy Chan here. So he drives Uber for part-time. So he is in the rideshare business. Yes, I work in rideshare driving, and it is a side job. And he started driving in 2021 in the beginning of the year. Click continue. And for here, did you make any payments for you to hire somebody and pay more than $600? No. Continue. And if you have any other less common situations apply to you here, let's say if you didn't actively participated in the operating of this business, or you subject to the Department of Transportation, you can select that. If none of that, go ahead, click none. Continue. And go ahead, double check all the information's correct. And TurboTax will automatically populate the business code for you, so you can leave it as it is. Okay, and looks good. Alright, and which company you drove for the past year? So in this case, Tommy drove for Uber. Click continue. And then if you have the accounts, you can go ahead link your Uber accounts to TurboTax, so TurboTax can go ahead pull up your 1099 NEC. If not, you can go ahead skip this as well. Alright, so in this case, Tommy has a 1099 NEC form look like this. So he would rather go ahead type it himself. Alright, so he get the form 1099 NEC. Go ahead, click continue. And for this screen here, it will ask you to put in the details information from your 1099 form. So on the first one, it will match up with the taxpayer and also the company informations. So here, I would go ahead put Uber. And Uber has the federal ID number. Okay, so the federal ID number, you can find it on here. It's a payer TIN number. Okay, so for this example, I just make up one. And you just go ahead follow the box that tell you to put in the information. So the box one, which is the non-employee compensations. So here, Tommy made $30,000 from Uber. So I put $30,000. And then for federal income tax withholding, there's no federal income tax withholding. You can find that in box 4. So I would put 0 and click continue. And if you have any other rideshare business, let's say Lyft or any other rideshare company, you can go ahead add that in here. So it will combine as a whole rideshare business. So for here, Tommy only drove for Uber, so he has no other rideshare company. So next thing, TurboTax will automatically populate 6 expenses categories. And let's get started. Okay, so here he doesn't have any startup costs. He has vehicle expenses and communication, supplies, and other miscellaneous expenses. So go ahead, click continue. Alright, and it will ask you some more questions. Did you have any startup costs? No. Did you spend money to promote your business? I know some Uber driver handing out some business cards, so if you do, you can click yes. But Tommy didn't have any business card. And he didn't purchase any big major things for his business. So keep going. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the vehicle first. So Tommy here, he used his own car for rideshare. And he has a Honda Accord. And what kind of vehicle it is? It is under 6,000 pounds. And he started using it on the first day when he drove for Uber. Click continue, and he owned this vehicle. Continue. And was this Honda Accord available for personal use in 2021? Yes. He also used it for personal purpose. And he only has one car. And Tommy keep good track record. He has a mileage log for his Uber business. So I will go ahead and click yes. I track my work mileage for this vehicle. And here for this year, his total mileage, including his personal commuting mileage and Uber, he drove for 10,000 miles. And for the next one, he only drove 2,000 miles for Uber. And go ahead, click continue. And he only has one vehicle for Uber. So this screen will ask you whether you want to use standard mileage deductions or the actual expense method. I highly recommend you go through both to see which one gives you higher deductions. But for simplicity of this example, Tommy will go ahead and take the standard mileage deductions. So here it will give him $1,120 expenses. And other, for example, parking fees, he doesn't have any of that. Toll fees, no. Any other property tax, so for example, car registrations, so he has $50 to spend for car registration, the parts that go toward Uber. And he doesn't pay any car payment, so there's no interest pay on his car. So go ahead, click continue. Okay, and then if you have any other vehicles you use for Uber, you can go ahead and add it here. Alright, continue. And the next thing, so let's say if you have rental car you use for your Uber business, you can add it here. So for the next one is communications, which is the portion that you use for your cell phone for Uber. So Tommy spent $120 for his cell phone bills that go toward his Uber business. So go ahead, click continue. The next thing is supplies. So if you have any supplies that dedicated to your Uber business, for example, car cleaning supplies like wipes, paper towel, cell phone accessories, charger, car mounts, the cell phone amounts refreshment for customer, you can go ahead put it here. So for this example, Tommy bought some paper towels to clean his car, and he spent about $20 and he has receipt for that. So go ahead, click continue. So if you have any other miscellaneous expense, you can go ahead add it here. So for example, for Uber Lyft, they do take out some commissions and Uber fees. You will add it, definitely want to add it here. So for Tommy, he has some Uber fees for $500. So go ahead and click continue. And then nothing here. He will go ahead, click I'm done. Okay, so this gives you a snapshot of how much is your actual profit. So for this example here, Tommy make $30,000 from Uber and another $1,770 is his expenses. So this is his net total, $28,000. Continue, and it will ask you more questions for the next screen. So how much of your rideshare driving work took place within the US? So all of them took place in the US. And was any of your rideshare driving work for your former employer? None. Continue. Did you deduct any of the rideshare driving elsewhere in the tax return? No. Continue. And go ahead, run my free check. So this screen here will give you an estimate whether your self-employed income has a low risk or high risk. So everything looks good. Continue and continue here.